A trans clear Tahu mask. So pretty. But how could you use this mask in a mock? And where does this come from? How much is it worth? And is there a rarer version of this mask that's worth thousands of dollars? Yes, there is. If you want to learn a little bit more about all the stuff I just mentioned, well, stay tuned. We'll be talking all about that on today's video. Here we go. Look at this stunning mask. Tahu G2's mask was already pretty incredible, but now we have it in trans clear. I love it. Now, if you wanted this elusive mask, which is simply titled Exclusive Tahu Mask, well, you needed to be at New York Comic Con back in 2014. This is a promotional giveaway that was given away at this event, and only 1,500 copies of this mask were made. Of course, you better believe that the limited number of these adds to the rarity and value of this mask. What's it worth? Well, a lot. Currently, there are 9 of them for sale on Bricklink right now. The cheapest one doesn't come with the blister packaging, and that's going for roughly 300 Australian dollars. In United States dollars, that's about $200. But if you want it in the packaging, the price varies. The 2 cheapest right now, they're selling for $300 to $400. And I would say $400 to maybe like $450. That's about the average price for this mask. That of course was in Aussie dollary dues. In US dollars, that's roughly 300 USD. Oh yeah, and the most expensive one that's for sale on Bricklink right now is $1,651. Why? It's literally no different to the others. This person is just asking way too much. Now, Bricklink normally shows a price guide for every single item that they list, and it shows the last 6 months of sales history. However, none of them have sold on Bricklink in the last 6 months. So, while people are asking these prices for these masks, that doesn't mean that they actually sell for those prices. People can ask whatever they want for anything on Bricklink. It doesn't mean they're going to get that though. That being said, I know someone who just bought one of these in the US for $400 while I was there last month. So, it does still sell for crazy money. Now, if you think that's crazy, there's actually another variant of this mask that's worth even more. And guess what? The mask is identical. The only difference is in the packaging. As you can see here, this variant is a 1 of 100. Number 98, specifically. Here it is side by side with the other blister pack. You can see the difference in the packaging right here. But how could you get this mask? Well, like it says on the card, this was given away at a special New York Comic Con VIP LEGO Bionicle event. But what was this event? Well, it was for the grand opening of a LEGO store that was opening up in New York City. The event itself was invite only. You needed to be either fan media or, someone very special to be invited. Those who had tickets to this special event, they were also given tickets to New York Comic Con, and that year was the year that they announced Bionicle G2. Being present for the official reveal of the second generation of Bionicle in New York City at Comic Con? Doesn't get better than that. Well, it does get better. This special VIP event is probably just that little bit better. Because as you walked through the door, you were given these special blister packs, and that's the only way that you could get them. The event itself was pretty much just the G2 design team talking about Bionicle and giving a speech. There was then a meet and greet with the designers, and the store also had a bunch of G2 parts in bins that everyone was encouraged to build and play with. And at the end of the event, everyone got to take their creations home with them. So good. But yeah, this mask is certainly rare given that you had to be a very special person to get one of them. Given how rare it is, what's it worth? Well, the most important part here is the packaging. That's the only exclusive piece here. Sure, the mask is still worth a lot, but it's not technically any different or any more exclusive. But if you want one in the packaging, right now, there's 2 for sale on Bricklink. The first one, the person is asking a whopping 4,455 Australian dollars, which is about 3,000 USD. The other person is selling this mask in a larger lot. The lot includes both versions of this trans clear mask. They also have the translucent Skull Scorpio mask, as well as the exclusive Gully mask, both the crew edition and the inside tour variant. For all of this, they want 22,299 Aussie dollars, which comes to roughly 15,000 United States dollars, which is insane. Although look, those other masks that are included in this lot, they're not exactly cheap. They are very, very rare. I have videos talking about why they're so rare if you want to learn a little bit more about them. I'll have a link in the description below. But look, on top of that, the Bricklink seller that's selling these, they claim that the masks have been graded. Now, grading items is something that you see a lot in the comic and collectible card communities. Essentially what happens is you send your item off to a grading company, and they're going to send it back to you a little bit later in a protective case, and they're going to have given it some type of grade. The grade is often on a scale from 1 to 10. 10 being absolute perfection. It's very rare to get a 10. Most of the time you'll get like a 9.8 or something like that. And then if you get like a 1 or some of the lower numbers, then it's in pretty bad condition. And you can't even get lower than a 1, but then that means it's in awful condition. When an item is graded, it tends to sell a lot better, because it guarantees that this is of high quality. If you sell something that isn't graded, it's a little bit harder to tell if there's a few imperfections or if it's not quite mint condition, especially if you're buying it online and you can't physically look at it. Grading really just confirms that your item is as perfect as possible. No damage, it's mint. And like I said, you see this a lot in card and comic collecting hobbies, where condition is way more important. People still value condition in the LEGO fandom, but I don't know, you just very, very, very rarely see LEGO items that are graded. In my 28 years of collecting LEGO, that's right, I was collecting LEGO when I was 0, I've seen one LEGO thing that was graded. I don't know, LEGO collectors just don't care about graded stuff. Still, the Bricklink seller claims that a company called UKG has graded these, and they specialize in toy grading. He says that all of these items received a 90 to 100% in their condition. So I guess this company grades in percentages rather than a scale from 1 to 10. Still, look, if you want to fork out 22,000 Aussie dollars, go ahead. At least you know these are going to be in mint condition. But dude, that's so much money. You know, it's a shame that these masks are worth so much these days. Whether it's the really rare variant, or the still fairly rare variant but not as rare. Because I mean, look at this mask. It's beautiful. And actually, this is the second time LEGO has given us a translucent Tahu mask. The other one, of course, is this trans orange one. If you want to learn more about that, I've got a separate video for that one too, link below. Thankfully, that one is way cheaper than this trans clear mask. But you know, seeing these two side by side, it makes me wish that we got this mask in even more colors. I mean, how good does this look when I Photoshop it so that it appears in a few more very pretty colorations? Oh, what could have been. If G2 continued, maybe we would have got something like this. Now, how could we use this mask to build our own custom LEGO creations? Old mate Joxon uses this mask to create an incredible diamond-clad Tower of Earth. How good do those Thornrax wings look when you pair them with this mask? Plus introducing a few other system pieces in trans clear. Well, that was a really smart idea. You don't really get too many other Bionicle pieces that appear in trans clear, so you're gonna have to dip into your system pieces. And that way, trans clear can be a pretty dominant color on a MOC like this. It's wonderful. My favorite little part use here has to be these pieces on the shoulders. These parts came in an old Mars mission set. If we zoom in a little bit on the cannon, we can see these parts right here. These helped lock in those big tubes, and it allowed you to like pump down on that pump and shoot out those projectiles out of this cannon. It was cool. But seeing them here as shoulder armor, good idea. Shadow Gear 6 335 has a MOC called Kairos, and it uses this mask. Now, yeah, it's used on the face, but it's not used as a mask. This is more of a visor, I suppose. And when we look inside the visor, there appear to be some pink studs. And if we zoom out a little bit on this creation, we can see that the torso appears to be this giant hourglass with this pink sand dipping through it. That's a really cool aesthetic. And yeah, using this mask as a kind of container that holds sand, very original and very cool. Patrick Biggs places this mask on a very sophisticated looking admiral. Honestly, putting such a fancy and rare mask onto a dude that's wearing a fancy naval uniform, it just makes sense. And I think the trans clear mask works quite well with the white that's used on the suit. Hey, it's nice to know that this mask can, pair with trans clear pieces, like we saw on Joxon's MOC, but it's also going to look pretty good like it does here. It's awesome how versatile this mask is. And finally, a real legacy MOC. This is Voss Eon, Master of Radiance by BrickThing. Wow, the presence of this MOC is just breathtaking. So beautiful. Yeah man, using this mask for an angelic MOC with gold and white wings, and even like a glowing chest and bright eyes, it's literally perfect. Yeah, it's like this mask was made to be put on this MOC. So if you're making a Tower of Light, or maybe you're building some kind of angel, or I don't know, a demigod or a deity, this is the mask for you. So, that's the history behind this stunning LEGO mask, as well as a few different ways that you could use it. I hope you got a little bit of inspiration, or you just had fun learning some LEGO history about some weird and rare parts. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please check the links in the description below and see more from these very talented builders. Thanks for watching, happy building, and bye for now.